Hello, and welcome back. The fishies are just absolutely stunning today. I think I can already see the super red starting to work on this guy. I've been taking a few frames of video every day. We're on day 3, but he's popping a little better already. I expect it to be a slower process, but I didn't even think I'd see anything by now. I'm seeing a little extra red in his body there. Just a hint. It's just starting to creep out, and I think that's pretty good. That's, we strive we strive for excellence on this channel with our fish. We didn't always have excellence. And it's hard to do that these days because if you come back to the hobby after a long period of time, you need to give yourself a refresher. I was never a noob. I had all sorts of information up in my noggin from when I was a young lad, and it's funny because I keep people seem to stand up and oh well, this guy's got like 47 years of experience. Okay, so basically he's telling you he had a fish tank when he was 8 years old. Interesting. How many of us do you think had a fish tank when they were 8 years old? Here's my experience when I was 8 years old. I grew up in a pet shop from the age of 8 to 13. And what I mean by grew up in is everyone at that pet shop loved the little kid that was me, and I lived across the street. And I spent every hour I could outside of school and all summer long in that bloody pet shop for all those years. And in that time, some very highly skilled individuals in my city in the field, because it was a fantastic pet shop in the day. It was the one to go to. The whole city came there, and they taught me everything because I was inquisitive and I was curious, and I loved nothing more than animals. So, okay, you want to throw 47 years of experience in my face? Well, first off, there's no way in hell you have 47 years of continuous experience at doing at fish keeping, and if you're claiming to, then I don't know. I had a life and I had responsibilities, and I couldn't do it properly, so I didn't do it properly. But I guess if the mantra is, find every possible way you could slack off and just have fish instead of care for fish, you can do that, I suppose. But that's, when I care for animals, there's a standard that must be applied. And if I can't meet that standard, I'm not going to buy that animal. Yeah. And this channel, if you look at my channel history, the whole thing is about showing my experience from the beginning up until present day. And that's going to continue with these fish and everything else. And I make a video or two, sometimes even 3, every single day. Every single day. So the entire evolution of this tank is in front of your eyes. And everything that I was learning along the way as I was trying to sort my way through the fish tube, the fog of fish tube, we'll call it that, okay? All that advice out there from person A and person B and person C and so on. You come to conclusions that you probably wouldn't have otherwise. And you do things because you're like, well, all of these people are saying it's so good. So, that stuff's got to be good. And then you sort of discount things that you should be actually considering, variables you should be considering, because they left them out and they told you, oh, it's all good, but there's actually a whole bunch of bad sides. And if they would have told you that, then their whole shtick falls apart, because now you got to counter that. You realize, oh my God, what they're telling me is a good thing is actually a threat to my fish. And if you're somebody who cares about your fish instead of like their idea, you're going to very quickly switch gears. And if you switch gears, well, like I said, their whole worldview begins to fall apart, right? Like they'll lose followers. They'll lose followers because people would rather have a healthy animal. I think people would rather have a healthy animal in the correct environment. Okay, not some hokey pokey, buy my mud routine. There's nothing for sale here. You know what I'm selling? I'm selling clarity. You see that? You see that water? Look how clear that water is. And I'm trying to give you that kind of clarity when it comes to the fog of fish tube. You want your fish to live? You're sick of dancing around and playing with swamp water? You want your house to smell nice again? Don't be shy to ask me a question or two. I'll do my best to help you out in an honest and reliable fashion. And as a new fish keeper, get you off into the right direction. There's good information in everything too, right? Like, but I've gone and picked all the good pieces out of everything, applied it to my past knowledge, and I know where I want my tanks to be. I know how I want my tanks to look. I know what kind of tank I want. That doesn't mean you have to do that, but just take a look around.